Europe hiking 2011 trip with 4 of us from Salem. We'll be flying into Zurich in later July. Get off the plane at 8:30 in the morning, and by 2 o'clock in the afternoon we'll be in the Appenzels. We've got a nice place to stay there for the first night. A hut built in the side of a mountain outside of a cave. Stay there for a couple days, then we'll drive south, stop at Vaduz, so we can say we've been in Liechtenstein, travel south a little bit, and then east over 2 pretty good sized passes over into the far eastern corner of Switzerland. This is called the Lower Engadin Valley, and we'll be in Vienna. It's just outside of School and fairly isolated, but there's some great treks from there, especially it's close access to the Swiss National Park. Then we'll go up to the Upper Engadin Valley, up into a small community called La Punt, and we've got a lot of nice hikes and hut hopping we're going to do in there for a couple days. Get back in the car and drive about 2.5 hours up into Reutte, which is in the side of Austria, right in the corner, right about 10K from Füssen in Germany. We're actually going to be staying in Eichenbiel, which is a small community of maybe 20 or 30 little homes right underneath the Ehrenberg ruins. So we can walk across the field, go up through the hill and the forest there, and actually climb the walls in from the other side. We'll also stop in Füssen and Neuenschwander Castle, so we can get a good look at a castle, and then climb up to the hut and summit beyond that. Take about a 3-hour drive the next day through Innsbruck, and then down into Italy, into the Val Gardena, which is in the Dolomites, the sunny area of the Alps. And we'll stay in Selva, and we have about 4 days of wonderful hiking down in that region. We'll be tired by coming out of there, so our only long day of travel will then be about a 5.5-hour day that takes us back up to Innsbruck, through Austria, into the central Switzerland, over into Interlaken. Interlaken, we will be staying at the far end of the lake at a little community called Brienz, which is close to Ballenberg, which is the outdoor museum, which is a fascinating place to spend a day. Another day of rest. Then we'll be taking a side trip up into Grindelwald, which is right under the face of the Eiger, and we'll be staying there a couple days, hiking in that region. Frank will then take Steve back up to Zurich and drop him off. This is about 4 days before the rest of us leave. Meanwhile, Lee and I will take the tram up to Mürren, and then we will hike over the pass to Griesalp, which is a fairly rigorous long day. We will meet Frank there, and then the next day we will hike over another pretty significant pass, long day down into Kandersteg, and stay there that night, and our car will be parked there. Then as we near the end of the trip, we'll travel back to Brienz, through Luzerne, and back up to a region called Glarus, and there's a nice peak in there that's got a nice route to the top that we like, probably 30 or 40 waterfalls just as you're going up that particular face. Is just beautiful. And then get up very early the next morning and go into Zurich and fly out. Probably about 200 to 300 miles of hiking.